It's your boy, King Crowder, back again with another edition of History You May Not Know, and history that is not taught in detail for sure. Today's lesson is on a sensitive matter of Laura and L.D. Nelson. These couple were black Americans who were lynched and castrated in the town of Ome, Oklahoma County, when they were seized from their cell at night. The reason why this case study should be talked about, y'all, we always mention how lynchings happen, but the horrific nature and the lack of justice to these families is something that we should highlight more. These black Americans were seized. The father was, because he was quote unquote committed for a crime on accusation. He was kidnapped from his jail cell when 40 white American men went there looking for him. The accusation, like many were in that time, was that he did something. He said something to a lady, which we later found all of these accusations were false. The part that was eerie about this crime is that Laura was pregnant as well. So when they got to the bridge, they demanded both husband and wife need to do something before they both get killed. Laura and LD both denied accusation because they knew they did not do nothing. I want you to think about this for a moment. The sheriff, local officials, and others were in this area. They knew that it was no substantial proof, but they thought because they were white Americans at this time, that the black Americans in this town had no concept of what was true or right. So what they did is that they lowered LD's pants and castrated his genitalia. They removed him as they threw them over the bridge, hung him to his neck. His wife Laura was pregnant. They slit open her stomach and allowed the baby to be murdered, and they stepped on her. Then they hung Laura over the bridge, taking photos as this death incident happened. While these two were lynched, castrated, when they were not sought after in trial, nor were they given the right to a fair and steady jury, people over the bridge gathered, celebrated, drank, smoked, and felt that the deed was done right. What is more horrific about this incident that most people don't know, they were photographed and sent to others around the county celebrating that they have killed 2 black Americans for crimes they did not do. What was worse about this crime is that the judge and the jury never persecuted, and nobody knew, quote unquote, who was there. Lynching was a crime of power, y'all. We always look at the dynamic as that they lynched somebody and killed them, but we never get into the minutia and how people still have fear of law enforcement due to these outcomes. The only gesture we can see is how these 2 individuals, husband and wife, were hung from a bridge based off solely a lie that was told. The aftermath, in my opinion, was even worse. The local papers justified these killings. The white newspaper said these black Americans, and I quote, deserved this crime because they did something against the white man. They did this crime. They harshed this entity, and they went against the public norms. There was no justice. There was no peace. When we discuss the story of this country, we must understand the trauma that is built into the fabric. I think it should be talked about and discussed from a highlighted point of view. It's not to demonize anybody, but it's to look and analyze where we did and why we don't teach these outcomes. Mr. and Mrs. Nelson deserve better. They deserve their day in court, and they deserve to a better outcome. 3 lives were lost. No one was convicted. Until this day, the picture that we see highlighted, dead bodies are committed. I'm sorry for Mr. and Mrs. Nelson to this day. I hope your soul has peace. I hope your family and your lineage feels better as well. We sorry we did not serve you correctly, but the story of American history, especially in this county of Oklahoma, needs to be told. It's your boy, King Crowder, back again teaching you something that was not taught. I think lessons like this need to be implemented, y'all, because they show crimes that still affect us to this day. This crime happened over 100 years ago. but we still are not taught on the horrific incidents that affect this country. Please comment and subscribe to this channel. Please, hopefully you learned something. It's your boy. Check it out. Peace.